Good evening. I'm calling to order the Board of Zoning Appeals for the public hearing on Board of Zoning Appeals Case 2024-03. May we have our staff report, please?
Good evening, and thank you for being here. So for tonight for BZA 2024-03, we have an appellant, Paul Allison, whose location is at 3055 Dorf Drive, city lot number 3784. This is in the zoning district of R2A. The appellant requests an appeal to Moraine Codified Ordinances Section MCO 1141-03 yard requirements. The minimum front yard depth for a 2 and 2.5 story dwelling is 25 feet. So a little description on this case is that the appellant requests to construct a 14-foot deck to the front of their dwelling at 3055 Dorf Drive. This encroaches on the 25-foot setback, as this deck will be attached to the dwelling. It will encroach 3 foot 9 inches of the stated 25-foot setback requirement for this R2A zone district. And if you look in your package, you'll see some of the pictures that I took from the field measurements of that. This will have a setback of 21 feet 3 inches per field measurements if the front deck were to be approved by the BZA. Railing and skirting will also be applied on this proposed deck if said deck is approved by the BZA. The Technical Review Committee, which consists of City Manager Michael Davis, myself, Fire Inspector Doug Hatcher, City Engineer Lauren Alvarado, Building and Zoning Administrator Brent Carpenter, and Community Development Secretary Beth Waters. We do not have any objections to the proposed front deck extension. We also did not get any phone calls or comments were made by the neighboring properties after notifications were sent to contiguous property owners on June 13th, 2024. It was also advertised in the Dayton Daily News and was posted throughout city buildings as well and on our website. If this front deck extension were to be approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Allison will have to follow the 2024 Ohio Building Code, and building plan review will be sent into NIC, or National Inspection Corporation, for the building permit to be issued, or if any revisions will have to be made to the proposed deck. I have nothing further unless anyone has any questions on anything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Now, do we have any opponents or proponents to the case? Anybody like to speak? No? All right. Seeing no further comments, I will close the public hearing on Board of Zoning Appeals Case 2024-03. Thank you very much. I will now call to order the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting of the City of Moraine at 6:03 on July 2nd, 2024. May we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Bond?
Here.
Mrs. Duff? Mr. Hicks? Mr. Kempe?
Here. Thank you. Has everybody had an opportunity to examine the minutes from our last meeting? If so, are there any changes, alterations, additions? Seeing none, the meetings are approved as distributed. Moving on to our business of the evening. Board of Zoning Appeals Case 2024-03. We've heard our public comments and staff report. We're ready if somebody would care to move to. All right, wait a second.
I'll second.
Very good.
Mr. Hicks? Mrs. Bond?
Yes.
Mrs. Duff? Yes. Mr. Kempe?
Yes. Very good. No other business to bring before the board? Very well. Then we will conclude. I'll close the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting at 6:05 on July 2nd, 2024. Thank you very much, everyone. All done. It's a hard day's work.